The Square Ball Podcast.
Well, hello to you. Dan here with Michael Normanton, with Rob Conlon, as we continue the summer sessions, the updates across the summer from a Leeds perspective, from a Euros perspective, and even from a Copa America perspective as well. This show brought to you, Michael, by who's it going to be this week? Have you picked one out of the hat?
Oh, it's Levi Solicitors.
What have they been up to lately?
Solicitor work.
You were going to say something.
Dealing with the same mistake again. Yep. They've been willing, they've been probating, they've been conveyancing all over Leeds and beyond.
Are they verbs? All the ings?
Doing all of them.
Great stuff. And there is a 10% discount on your legal fees at levisolicitors.co.uk/the square ball. Let's talk football then, shall we? Even though it is the summer. The new season officially starts this coming Monday at the time of recording. 1st of July is the official start date of the accounting period, the new season of contracts, which means that old contracts are coming to an end on Sunday, which means, as it stands, Liam Cooper out of contract on Sunday. Jamie Shackleton, the bods at Football Insider, are exclusively reporting today that he's going to move to Sheffield United after turning down the Leeds contract offer. So it's all going to kick back into life slowly but surely as of this next week.
Why have we not signed anyone then?
I don't know.
We've not sold anyone either, have we? Is the other side of this.
Which I guess is an interesting marker when it comes to the PSR position. You would have thought if we needed to get a sale in before the end of the PSR accounting period, the 3-year cycle, would have to be done before the 30th of June. I'm aware there are still 3 days left to go.
We did flog Luis Sinisterra early though, didn't we? For that reason. Potentially. You say we've not signed anyone. Brendan Aronson is like a new signing.
That's true. And I suppose Harrison has sort of gone, but still ours, but whatever.
Is that how you feel about it now?
Well, I sort of knew it was coming, didn't we? There was very little chance of him coming back, particularly once it was clear Everton were willing to take him again in their Premier League and he gets to keep all his money. And well done, Jackie.
Did you see that somebody on Wacko found Jackie's house has gone on the market recently? It's on Rightmove for £5 million.
Wow.
Up to the northeast of Leeds. It's such a footballer's house as well. Although the weird detail is there appear to be 8 toilets in the whole property. It's a massive thing. It's got a swimming pool. It's got a gym. It's got a recovery room. I feel like I need a recovery room. Loads of bedrooms. It's got like a hot tub down by the pool, or a sex pond, as someone in our charity walk group, WhatsApp group, called it. But yeah, only 1 toilet downstairs apparently, right next to the pool.
8 upstairs.
That is a lot.
Or is it 7 upstairs?
7, yeah.
Oh, only 7.
You'd balance it out a bit, wouldn't you?
What a pain in the arse to clean.
It's got like a home cinema. You don't want to be coming out your home cinema in the middle of a film and then
you're going to be doing 3 bottles of bleach a week. 8 toilets.
Right.
It's a lot of work.
Yes.
I suppose you probably just don't use all of them though.
Do you think maybe you got somebody in to clean at that?
He could have done. Yeah, I suppose if you got a £5 million house, you could
probably afford it.
Stretch to.
You wouldn't know, would you?
Well, I probably would actually. No one likes cleaning, do they? If you're a millionaire, it's worth having.
Yeah, but yeah, it's all very sort of grey.
All football houses are grey.
Football. I think they all have this. They all consult like the same designers, don't they?
Just purely from stalking footballers on Instagram, they all appear to live in more or less the same house, just different sized versions of the same thing. So I'm surprised Jackie's got a £5 million house though.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
It is a lot, but have you had a thing called mortgages?
I guess so, yeah. And I guess we gave him that big contract, didn't we? Yeah. Which you can get out of every year. So good for him.
If you do need a mortgage and so on and so forth, conveyancing and so on.
Fixtures are out anyway, as expected, pretty much. Same as normal.
With the added twist of an exciting start against Conor Shaughnessy's Portsmouth. It's a reunion we've all been waiting for, isn't it?
The Shaughnessy Shield.
There you go, yeah.
There you go.
First trophy of the season.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good one. Yeah, looking at it, it's all very championship, isn't it? You just go, oh, we need to get out of here.
It feels, looking at the fixtures and the teams in it, it feels like it's probably going to be a more even league next year. As in, I can see teams taking points off each other a lot more. Whereas this year it was like very much a clear top 4, big gap, whereas it's going to be a clear top 1 and a big gap.
Is that going to be us?
I don't know. We've not played Portsmouth for ages, have we?
Yeah, that's true.
It was 2012 when we last played him.
It's the New Year's Day fixture that has really sort of scarred me, because it was we played Blackburn at home on New Year's Day in 2014, and ever since then I have been convinced that New Year's Day football is all terrible. Because I remember we were awfully hungover. I had to ring my friend Johnny like 5 minutes before the supporters bus left the pub. And that was basically his alarm that woke him up. And then at half-time, Leeds were 2-0 down. And he took a bite out of a burger and just threw up all over the South Stand concourse, which I don't know if that was to do with the booze or the food.
You're really selling it, Rob.
Yeah, ever since then, I have been like, no, New Year's Day football is horrendous.
It is always a bad game, New Year's Day. I'm sure it's traditionally, I think there might have been a good one under Bielsa, actually. Was Villa or Blackburn or something around Christmas. But I feel like
Boxing Day.
I feel like Boxing Day and New Year games tend to not be very good.
Yeah, I think the Villa game was ahead of Christmas because we were driving down south to go see the in-laws. And then the Blackburn game was I'm going to say Boxing Day, like 23rd, 26th or something like that. So, but it's the proper bookend to Christmas, isn't it? Is New Year's Day. It's all over then. There's that bleak January feeling just sets in.
Although it is a good opportunity to get out of the house.
Yeah, there is that
around Christmas. So let's just be grateful for that, I suppose. It remains an option to escape for a bit.
I'd predicted we'd get Derby at home on the first day because I was fairly sure that they would put us up against one of the promoted teams. But I was convinced, because I hadn't factored in the new TV deal here, I was fairly convinced that they'd end up showing us on the Sunday afternoon game. So do you remember when we played Bolton when Christiansen was in charge? Yeah. And we were the 4:30 kickoff game on that Sunday in that 3-2 game because we obviously draw a big TV audience in for Sky. And that's because it's the week before the Premier League kicks off because it's the Community Shield, isn't it? But I was wrong. It was one of the promoted teams, obviously, in Portsmouth. But we are not, I don't think we're the scheduled TV game, are they? But anybody who's not familiar with this, the new TV deal kicks in this time, which means that all the games from that opening weekend are getting shown, aren't they? So there's no Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff, I don't think, in the Championship. So we're 12:30, which is another bastard of a time for a team coming from the South Coast up to Leeds on the opening day. Early start, that one. But we're on Sky Sports Plus, which is the service that is replacing iFollow in the UK. They're doing away with all the club iFollows, and Sky Sports Plus is the new platform for all that, isn't it?
I mean, they have said as part of the new TV deal that they are going to be better with TV selections in terms of the time they give people.
Are they giving it all the way up to Christmas, aren't they? I think?
Yeah.
By the time the season starts, they will have confirmed it up until Christmas, I think. I think within the next week, they'll have confirmed the ones up until the end of September, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm fairly sure, when we got the proposal for the Sky Sports thing, it's not like a sponsorship in the sense that we've got like sponsorship with like Levi's or West Yorkshire Electrical. It's just like do a read for a bit around the start of the season. I'm fairly sure it's plugging the new Sky Sports Plus service. So we've just done it for free.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But it'd be interesting to see
I think it's shit unless it is.
I was going to say, it will be interesting to see if that filthy money now materialises anyway. But watch this space. You'll know soon enough.
Well, I think it's terrible, but other opinions might be available soon.
Other opinions come at a price.
And Borough in the Cup. We've had that as well. The Cup draws out.
I'm
away for this, so we'll miss this. But playing against the team from just outside Yorkshire. But this one will be maybe the Luke Ayling, not Shield. What are we going to go with for this one?
The Bill Ayling bust.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
All right, fine. It'd be a nice early return for him, won't it? Although, will he get a rest knocking on, isn't he? Might give his weary old legs a rest for a midweek game.
He'll refuse to play.
Maybe so.
As if he was still on loan.
But I do actually quite like 2 home games within the first week. It feels like it gives an early opportunity to get some momentum, potentially.
Well, it's after that the pitch gets ruined by the Rugby League, doesn't it?
Oh, of course, I forgot that was going on.
Yeah.
So I don't really follow Rugby League. Does everyone still hate it that it's at Leeds?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
So when does that? I mean, that's the Magic Weekend, is it? Is it the weekend after?
I think that's the second weekend of the season, I think. But yeah, in the mag last year, I wrote about the history of Rugby League being played at Ellen Road and the history of people moaning about Rugby League being played at Ellen Road because there was a championship final between Leeds and Hunslet and people were kicking off why it wasn't being played at Wakefield, which, given it's 2 teams actually in Leeds, it sort of made sense, but people still found ways to moan about it.
Hunslet did used to fuck up the pitch quite badly in my early days of going to Ellen Road, but it was an era of knackered pitches.
Yeah. And then we're away to West Brom, which is it's a tough away game, is that one, early in the season, isn't it?
And Sheffield Wednesday away after that as well, who I know they only just avoided relegation, but they actually did finish the season fairly well. Although their manager being on the Euros coverage does make me think he's just trying to get a better job. That was my first thought. I was like, if I can go on there and speak sense, someone will take me out of this.
Yeah, he's an intelligent looking man.
I can have a less insane boss potentially if someone just decides to take me on the basis of this. But yeah, I think it's quite a tough start, actually.
October is the one that looks quite difficult as well, doesn't it? But, it is all such...
It all looks the same, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Really, I can't really tell.
There's just a lot of kind of generic mid-sized teams. And, of course, we're not one of them.
No, absolutely not. We're giants of the division. I must admit, at the start of last season, you wouldn't have thought Ipswich would have been necessarily a title contender, would you? And then it just ticked on them, and about 2 months in, you went, I think they might be, They just keep winning games, don't they? But they will stop at some stage. No, they did not. Not really, anyway. Next year, I think, probably is when it stops with them. But good luck to them, I suppose. Less so Leicester.
Yeah, so you looking forward to the big pre-season tour to Germany. That's been announced, coming up in July.
The secret one.
I'm just going to wander around Germany until I find a game of football and hope it's Leeds United.
I know they said no fans are going to be allowed to this game. There will be Leeds fans trying to find these games. Yeah. There will be word passed around saying, I've heard they're in Stuttgart. There's been a sighting in Bremen.
Some people will travel because they wanted to travel, and you can't. I know Leeds have said don't travel, but you can't stop people going to Germany, can you?
No.
In a sort of general sense.
There are people who stared through gaps in fences to see little bits of COVID games. So going to Germany to try and sneak into a stadium's nothing whatsoever. People will definitely do it.
Yeah.
It is a shame to not have it as a thing, though, because it's nice as a pre-season tour. It's a nice consequence-free bit of following Leeds that you can do and just have some fun. Yeah. See a few new players, probably.
I think it's to have some fun that's maybe concerned the German authorities, though, which is why they're not allowing this to go ahead, because the German authorities are very tired. They're going to be very tired after the Euros, and they're going to want a holiday. So big on the old efficiency, the Germans, but it looks like they're now going to be going on holiday and taking their German towels and putting them on the sun loungers, doesn't it, instead of policing the Leeds United pre-season friendlies, because they're lazy.
It surely doesn't need that many police, does it? I can see that the Euros, what was it, across like 10 cities or something. I can see that, that's a big deal, but surely if it was in a big German city, there's enough about them to cover Leeds fans.
Yeah. I mean, expert on policing that you are.
I'm just saying, I think it'd be fine. Just let us go over there anyway to see what happens.
We were saying before we started recording, when was the pre-season tour to Germany that sort of descended into a riot?
Yeah, I was just showing my mate Alan's face as well, and the state he ended up in after that.
It's quite a bad scar, wasn't it? You got from
quite, yeah.
Yeah. So bother free, hopefully.
I mean, that's when the police were apparently working, right? I suppose. So maybe it'd have been better if they weren't. Maybe so. But yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it? That, and obviously Leeds are going to lose out on like gate receipts for playing against teams out there and stuff. Is this a glorified? Is Farke doing a glorified Neil Warnock here? Warnock obviously always takes his teams down to Cornwall. Is this Farke doing the same? Possible. I mean, that's a fair clue of where it's going to be, isn't it? I suppose if he's fully Warnock in it, it's going to be somewhere maybe around the Dortmundy area. Warnock famous for having his barbecues in his back garden. Could Daniel Farke do the same? Get some sausages cooking, some currywurst, whatever. Because the rumour is as well that none of these games are going to be shown as well. Right. That LUTV are not going to be showing them. It's strange that, but I'm also kind of glad because I really resent Leeds swindling like a tenner out of fans for a really shit LUTV stream in pre-season, and now they're moaning that they might not get any money for that. I think fucking good. You don't deserve it. Although pay a tenner for a meaningless pre-season friendly that's Leeds, or sit and endure another England game in the Euros. I mean, it is honestly, watching England this week has been enough to make me start pining for the season again, even though I really, really enjoyed the break and needed it desperately. Yeah. My wife was actually quite confused at my lack of interest in it because I've been away for a couple of days and because of the timing of meal and stuff and getting back to where we're staying, we're going to be in a taxi during the England game. And she was like, do you know, I've got the pub to watch it. I was like, it's fine. If I miss the first 20 minutes, nothing's going to happen anyway. So, and sure enough, I got home and nothing had happened. I think a goal had been disallowed actually, but it was offside. So fair enough, yeah. Right to disallow it. And then they are the rules. And then basically, fuck all happened for the rest of the game. And I was like, just on my phone again. I was going to say, this is the first tournament where I've spent more of it watching England games on my phone than actually watching the games. And you can just go, you're glancing at your phone, you glance up, they're still just passing it around in their own half. Glance down, another couple of minutes, glance up. Yeah, still just doing the same thing. Same, yeah. Just over and over and over it goes.
Yeah, was it? I think my son told me a stat, something that like Phil Foden had passed back to Jordan Pickford more than he'd passed like Jude Bellingham or something like that. So,
Right.
which tells you a lot about what's going on there with England. But yeah, they've bored their way through into the next round and bored their way to the top of the group after that 0-0 against Slovenia. Slovakia in the next round. Sunday, 5 p.m. Meh.
It's an absolute gift of a route, isn't it? Because England's group's one of the easiest in the first place. We've now got one of the easiest games in this round, and we'll probably win this one just about.
It's mad, isn't it? But this is like, it's another great opportunity to progress in tournaments. And I can't ever remember, and I don't know if this is just my own bias talking, I don't ever remember interest being as low or annoyance being as high.
Mm.
Yeah, it's weird how the atmosphere seems to have really turned as well. Like, there's always a bit of that with England, that pessimism, but it seems to have really got under the skin of like the players and Southgate himself this time. And it's a weird one, Southgate, because I have a little bit of sympathy for him in that, don't get me wrong, I think he's a massively limited manager, but actually in my lifetime, he's been the most successful England manager, and he's actually had decent tournament results, but it's just massively gone on. Just one tournament too many, and just everyone's really fed up of it.
Yeah, the players and management seem a bit sensitive to the criticism, but why not they try not being so terrible, and then there probably wouldn't be as much criticism.
Just, do your jobs better. There's all that hoo-ha about Lineker describing the performance as shit that happened in the wake of that. But it kind of was, wasn't it?
It was shit.
Yeah.
No one actually disagreed in a well, no one could argue against it from a factual standpoint, could they? Because everyone had seen it, and yeah.
But the counter argument seemed to be, you're being a bit mean.
Yeah, but it's not that mean, is it?
No,
Bloody hell.
it's truth. It was the truth.
You compare it to like Italian football, where you've got ultras rocking up at the training ground and like threatening them and stuff. It's quite tame, as much as I probably wouldn't want to be at the centre of it. But there is a thing as well with this tournament where I can't say I'm paying massively close attention to it, but is there any good teams in it? Because everyone seems to be like losing and dropping points and stuff. You do think could we just 0-0 this all the way to the final, like when Huddersfield got promoted through the playoffs?
Yeah, it's possible. It feels like quarter-final defeat to Italy, doesn't it? Is the way this is heading, looking at the structure of the draw. We'll lose to the first good team we play, is my instinct. We tried losing to Denmark, who were all right, but, it will be shown up at some point.
Yes. If you are going out this weekend in Leeds to watch the old foosball, a few places that you can go check it out. Well, we've got a list of them on the website, actually. If you go to thesquareball.net/pubs, there's a list of venues on there that we can recommend.
And if you don't watch an England game, you'll probably have a good time.
Yeah.
That's the thing about this tournament.
And having
a
couple of pints just take the edge off. Nice Sunday afternoon drink. Be fine, wouldn't it? We were chatting about which ones we'd seen various tournaments in. One of the venues like we're recommending is like Belgrave Music Hall in Leeds City Centre, which we've done one of our live shows at before. And you were saying, Rob, weren't you? Yeah, I watched, was it World Cup 2018 there?
Yeah, that was really good as well. They got to the semi-final. So if you can go back 6 years, you'll have a great time.
We said, what a great endorsement. Here's somewhere I went 6 years ago. Give it a try.
Likewise, Beck and Cole in Meanwood, I watched Leeds stay up against Brentford there, albeit I missed Jack Harrison's winner because I was just pacing around the car park, so I was so stressed out. So again, if you don't want to watch England, just go to the Beck and Cole, get a pint and walk around the car park.
Yeah, Waterlane Boathouse. I was out there having a beer with my mate the other weekend. Had a nice pizza. So you could do that. Just have a beer, pizza. You don't have to worry about the football, do you? Just gaze out the windows, look at the canal. Lovely spot. Lovely spot. Yeah, have a look at thesquareball.net/pubs. I mean, the other side to this is that we moan as England fans, but at least we're not Scotland. And we've had Sean leave us a message. Sean's one of our TSB Plus members.
10 minutes after the game, Scotland 0, Hungary 1. For fuck's sake, what a year it's been. Yeah, don't let my accent confuse you. Mad Leeds fan. Born and bred Scotland fan. Lads, what do I need to do to make things better?
It's a life sentence for Sean, isn't it?
I think it was justice for Phil Hay leaving us.
Yeah, it's payback. Just payback to the Scots. Yeah, that was grim, wasn't it? They lost. It was the last kick of the game against Hungary. It was exciting to watch as a neutral.
I mean, the game wasn't. It was rubbish.
Yeah.
But
the drama of losing it like 90 plus 10 and got that injury as well was awful, wasn't it, to Varga?
And it was intriguing to watch Scotland need to win, but not really try to.
Yeah, I stopped watching it at half-time, and I've got nothing against Scotland. Leeds have got a lot of legendary Scottish players, but then when I saw that they'd lost in the 100th minute, I was like, oh, lads, come on. Why do you keep doing this?
Yeah, it was. I mean, they should probably have had a penalty, but yeah, it's one of those that I don't like. I wish they weren't penalties, but they are always given. Like where the striker jumps in front of the defender, then stops.
I think it's the phrase initiates contact.
So they get clattered.
Yeah.
But they're always giving us penalties. So why they didn't give this one, I don't know. But Scotland, I mean, they seemed to try not to score. I was watching it thinking, I can kind of see why we went for Jean-Kevin Augustin over Che Adams based on that performance, because he had so little threat up front. But yeah, I suppose always next time for Scotland.
Yeah, still not made it out of a group, have they? Bless them. But we'll be cheering them on as fellow inhabitants.
I actually did want them to win.
Yeah, I did.
I actually did want them to win that game. Watching it
because it gives you an interest in the tournament, doesn't it? And I know like the other nations around England hate England and want England to fail badly, which is again is totally understandable.
Yeah, but I did also do a bit of a laugh when that goal. I was like, yeah, and it was a nice moment as well, because I think there was that panic as well of the injury, and everyone was like, "Oh God, what's happened to him?"
Yeah.
And also, and TNT Sports said he'd suffered a fatal injury as well.
Yes, that was a tweet, wasn't it?
Which they didn't mean. I think they misunderstood. Like about, they thought fatal just means bad.
Yeah,
it's what
I missed that. Jesus.
Yeah, it was deleted not long after. People were like, I don't think you know what the word fatal means.
Quite an important distinction to make, that, isn't it?
Yeah,
like you know, if you were to get a phone call.
Sorry, you're dropping a pen.
And I was going to say, if your wife was to get a phone call saying Michael's been in an accident, like bad accident, fatal accident, general accident, all slightly different. I mean, she'd be happy either way, but
it's a bit fatal.
a slightly fatal injury. Yes. Yeah, that's not a good one, was it? Have you been watching any of Copa America along the way as well? I've caught a little bit of that. I stayed up the other night and watched the USA's first game against, was it Bolivia?
Yes,
yeah.
They won, didn't they?
Yeah, it was Pulisic scored after about 3 minutes. But it was in the massive stadium, the AT&T Stadium, the one in Arlington, you know, in Texas, the one with the massive window at the end. It's an absolutely amazing stadium.
I've never seen this. I'm going to Google it.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. It made me think, because what I want them to do with Ellen Road when they redevelop it, because we can't do that much with the South Stand. But if we build up all the other ones, like Cop gets made bigger, West Stand gets made bigger, East Stand is already big, put a massive window in so you can look up Beeston Hill.
Yeah. That would kind of work. I'll do like
or if you're on Beeston Hill, you can look down and look in.
I like Monaco Stadium with the arches.
Yeah.
Put those at the back.
I mean,
you could throw things through around your windows. You could throw things at windows.
If there's nothing there, you don't need a window, do you? Can you not just see?
Are you saying a gap?
Yes.
Just leave it as it is.
Yeah, but we want it to have architectural merit. I mean, what are the people of Beeston going to throw stuff at these windows, Rob?
Fair enough, yeah. Let's just put some stuff there.
Those windows, when we drop down the divisions again, and those windows are never cleaned, and that stand is shut.
just moss growing.
Yeah, a green algae.
No,
a nature wall's a thing anyway. That's I think an architectural feature now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
but
right.
Ellen Road, you get the feeling it'd more likely be like trees growing out of gutters and that sort of general neglect as opposed to anything deliberate.
We've got a bright future coming up with a glossy new stadium or an improved stadium. That's the same one.
Or the angle the window wrong so it actually makes it dangerously hot on the pitch or something. Just magnifies.
There's a bit in the centre circle that's constantly bursting into flames. Oh no, what have we done?
Yeah. You could make it so angles. You could blind the opposition, or potentially cook the opposition goalkeeper.
Wow, yeah.
There's a way forward.
Brendan Aronson running around with his socks on fire.
So instead of a window, a giant tilting mirror.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'd get past the authorities.
Like you used to at school, and you could shine the watch at the teacher's face.
Yeah.
When it was coming in through the window.
When you were at school, did you ever get involved in humming? Like low-level humming?
I think it means a different thing in America.
Does it?
I believe so.
All right.
Is this another Urban Dictionary?
I think a hummer is something different.
Right, no, I meant just the noise humming, where you kind of like make a low-key buzzing noise.
Yeah, it does vaguely.
Like that. Just to try and...
Everyone stop it!
What's that?
Yeah. It's something on Urban Dictionary, isn't it?
Oh, there you go, yeah.
Okay.
Are you a hummer then?
I was never in... despite my best efforts, I was never able to get involved.
Right, let me just have a look at this. A hummer. Oh, right.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Oh, this also means something in Swedish as well.
What does it mean in
There's
Swedish?
a Swedish hummer. It's just a variant on the same theme.
Oh, okay. Fine.
Cool, yeah. Have a look at that in your own leisure time, I would suggest. Get involved. Copa America, you're going, Rob, which we're going to speak a little bit more about that on the member show this week. But are you basically going to do what I did when I went to France and go chase Marcelo?
Essentially, yes. I am.
Because you are, by the way, I should say, on the video version, you will see this. Rob is in a Uruguay shirt, which is very nice.
It is. This is the old one, I believe. I think they're Adidas now. But yeah, I'm going out there for the knockout stage to essentially follow Uruguay's side of the draw. So I'm hoping I leave my usual Leeds jinx at home and they actually make it out of the group stage. Otherwise, it is a tremendous waste of money. But yeah, also going to DC to see Mateus click play. So yeah, should be good.
Can we hassle him into an interview, maybe?
That is the plan. We are working on that as we speak.
That would be good if you could do that. Make that happen. Go on.
Yeah, I'm trying my best.
That'd be fun. So we're going to chat a little bit more about that, about what your plans are over on the members show. But yeah, we've got players there. We've got Brendan's there. I managed to catch up with Tyler and Weston. They were both playing for the USA when I watched them play against.
Jesse's there as well.
Olivia.
Thomas Christiansen's there.
All the guys.
Yeah, Marcelo and Thomas Christiansen. It was like Moscow's wet dream, wasn't it? Finally came true. That one. But yeah, it was interesting watching the USA. And Weston McKennie continues to just confuse me as a footballer.
Did he look decent again? Because I did see him play well for the USA.
He's very influential in the way that they set up. I saw some fancy graphic. It might have been on The Athletic. I can't quite remember, that suggested he was very influential in where they get all their points and their victories from. But no, he seemed like, I don't know, quite a sloppy footballer. I took from my observations. Like he was conceding possession a fair bit, under hit passes and stuff. But he sort of, in a sort of general conceptual way, knows what he's doing, but doesn't necessarily execute it all that well. It was just interesting, like seeing off the back of that interview that he'd given, seeing how he performed.
I mean, they were really playing Bolivia, who are pretty shit.
Yeah, they weren't great.
They never qualify for World Cups or anything, do they? So it means nothing. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And Jesse's Canada continue playing all the hits of just leaving men free at the back post. I don't know if you...
Super.
They actually beat Peru, who had a man sent off. But if you look at the highlights, pretty much the first chance Peru gets is just a man stood in the box on his own at the back post with no one bothering to mark him. So yeah, he's got his message across quite quickly there, Jesse. Well done.
The metric's good though.
It will genuinely be interesting to see how he fares up against like some of the bigger nations as the tournament starts to get through, progresses through the knockouts, if they make it that far, assuming that they will. I haven't looked at the groups, but when he comes up against a real test, because they got thumped, didn't they, was it France who thumped them, or was it the Netherlands, and then they drew with the other one?
Yeah, they opened the tournament against Argentina, and it was 2-0. It was 0-0 at half-time. But if you watch the highlights, Argentina missed a lot of chances, and then Jesse thought everything was ace.
Yeah, I mean, there was, I think it was, that fella, Phil Hay, I think he's called. He's got a daft little newsletter for whoever it is that he works for, and he mentioned something in that about the Red Bull style, actually, and he was referring to this game, saying when it works, it can be dead effective, but it's when it doesn't work that it can completely collapse. So occasionally it does. As we saw with Leeds, like we completely hassled the shit out of Chelsea, didn't we, in that third game of the season when Jesse was in charge, but it was all the stuff that kind of followed that didn't.
Yeah, and it did turn out Chelsea were rubbish as well. We didn't realise at the time.
Yes. And finally, in terms of extracurricular activities, Rob's off to Copa America. Michael, you're freshly back from Manchester. How was it over the hills?
It was all right, yeah. Warm, not raining.
Right.
For a rare occasion in Manchester. But I'll be just hanging out with the Fonz, wasn't I?
Henry Winkler?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw the photo on your Twitter.
That was really good.
Gave it a retweet from our account.
Yeah, he even mentioned Square Ball in his bit of the show.
In Manchester?
In Manchester, he urged people to listen to the Square Ball podcast.
Good boy.
Which was great. But no, it was really just a bizarre...
Did you went and hung out with him, didn't you?
Yeah, I got to go to his dressing room.
Was that before or after the show?
Before.
Right.
Yeah, he was offering me some cheese. He gave me a beer out of his fridge. Chatted with his wife.
What kind of beer was it?
He doesn't drink, actually, so he just had some in there for other people. But it was, I think it was Moretti. So little cans of it. But yeah, there was some grapes, there was some cheese. Lovely stuff.
It's very civilized.
I gave him a scarf and a shirt, which he probably won't wear, but, he can put it on display somewhere in a drawer.
And you will have to explain, for the benefit of anybody who doesn't know, how this came about.
Yeah, so Max Winkler, his son, is married to Jessica Barden, who is an actress from, Wetherby, but born in Leeds, and all Leeds family. So she's ended up passing on the Leeds thing to him, and he's now, I think, more into it than she is, pretty much. And as a result as well, his dad, who is the Fonz, now has an interest in Leeds.
Which is great.
So through all that,
he has actually done some filming around here, hasn't he? Like around Dewsbury and stuff in the past as the Fonz.
Yeah, because he's done Panto in England as well in the past. So
he hasn't.
Hey, very good. So yeah, he has got links back to England, but I don't think he'd ever had a football link until Leeds United. So we were definitely claiming him.
So when you were young, a child growing up, watching Happy Days on the TV, if someone had told you, you will, in about another 30 years' time or whatever, you'll get to go hang out in his dressing room when he does a live appearance in Manchester because of a daft podcast you set up. And you'd be like, what's a podcast? Because they never existed back then, that you've set up with your mates. And it has somehow led to this. Would you have believed me?
I think it was all worthwhile.
Yeah.
When I think about those hours stood in the Lowfields Tunnel for Johnston's Paint Trophy games, it seemed a long way from the Fonz, but there it is. It's all come together. I'm tempted to retire.
I was just going to say, big question is that your peak?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think should we just call it a day? We'll just say bye to everyone.
Well, enjoy Copa America.
Someone else is going to have to do the Will's probate and conveyancing stuff, but that's fine.
Yeah, enjoy Copa America, Rob. Then sorry to let you all know that this is the end of the show. So no, it's not. But no, that's good. I'm glad you had a nice time.
But it was great, and he was just a really lovely fella.
Yeah.
So he's exactly as you would expect him to be.
Yeah,
which is great.
Fonz as a granddad, it's kind of funny.
Yeah. I've been happy with my grandparents over my life, but if I could have an extra one, he'd be on my list for definite.
We'll wrap it up there. We will see you soon.
The Square Ball Podcast.